everybody. Welcome back to the Double Your Sales Now show. I'm doing another solo show today, which I'm really excited about. I'm excited to hang out with you here. Today, I'm going to share with you how to move through your next income ceiling with ease. And the reason I'm doing the show is because I have been getting a lot of questions from our clients. It's been coming up a lot lately. And, this is something I've experienced myself. I still experience this on a regular basis. And I thought this would be a great topic for the new year for 2021, especially in this very different time. And I just want to encourage you. I think 2021 is ripe with potential. I still think in Q1, it's going to be a little bit of a rough ride as we move through the rest of January with a lot of political things happening on the landscape and navigating that and how it affects you locally and just, taking care of yourself and your family. I think once we move through January, I think February is hopefully going to quiet down. I think there's a lot of hope coming right now because of the vaccine. So business owners are getting refocused on their businesses and having, more optimism about what's possible because I think people are calming down. I think there's also a ton of pent up money and energy that is just waiting to be released as restrictions come down and people continue to be more optimistic. So you definitely want to position yourself to be ready for, the end of Q1. I mean, right now, there's no reason you can't have a phenomenal month, right? You can have a phenomenal month in revenue. And I also want you to be thinking like the things are going to open up more. Are you positioned? What do you need to shift? How do you need to be even more creative to deliver the demand that's going to be out there? And this is for every business, right? So think about like, what can you do to expand? And there's a lot of that conversation happening. And yet what I also know is that you can bump into income ceilings, right? You can bump into, some people call them upper limits. You can hit that place where you'll stop. And a lot of times it's unconscious, right? It's like, you don't even know, why am I self-sabotaging? Why do I stop, every time I get to this point? Or what you'll notice in your revenue is that you'll have a breakthrough month, but then the next month it'll be a dip. So you might do, 60,000 one month and the next month is 20,000. So you're still averaging out at around 40,000. So you have a financial set point. As you've heard me talk about, you have a financial set point that's keeping you stuck. So I want to talk about how to move through that with ease and not have to stop every time that happens. So we're going to get into that today. I just want to encourage you, if you haven't yet, to go to salescoachnow.com/gift. I have a PDF for you there. It's very easy to download. I like simple, but that one pager is packed with information, and it's the 6 secrets to doubling your sales. And I think anyone could, right? We could all use that right now. So, and it's also a great way for us to keep in touch with you. There's a lot of things happening at my company this year to help as many people as possible. And you're going to see a lot of shifts and up-leveling happening in my company to support at a higher level. And I want you to be thinking about up-leveling as well. And speaking of up-leveling, my next book, Up Level Now, is coming out this spring. And I'll be sharing more information on that as well. And just kind of some of the cool things we're going to do around that. So, on that topic of up-leveling, right? The 2021 is ripe for up-leveling, right? You pat yourself on the back. You made it through 2020. We all took a deep breath, right? And we moved into 2021, and then you're like, well, there's still unrest. We're still in the pandemic. Like nothing really changed dramatically. And yet I can tell you that I feel a different sense of peace and freedom and optimism. Like January just has a different energy. I think it always does, right? I'm feeling it especially this year. And it's like business is just ripe for you, right? There's so much, as I mentioned, there's just pent up money. There's pent up energy that needs to be expressed. Like people are going to start spending again, and even more than they have been. And I want you to be ready for that. So be thinking as we move through this, how you can up level. Also, if you haven't yet been to sales camp, we are changing things. So if you want to come to a live sales camp and not a recorded one, you want to come to a live sales camp, our last one is going to be for 2021 is going to be in March of this year. And I can even tell you the dates because I have them. So it's March 10th and 11th. We would love to have you join us live, virtually, but live. So if you're interested, we have a very special price for for all of you, our podcast listeners. So email contact@salescoachnow.com and my team will get you all the information. I also want to mention, our clients who are coming to the 2X Intensive are getting phenomenal results in just 2 days. And during those 2 days, they're focusing on creating their 2X. And this is a really great course if you are already at low 6 figures and you want to get to $500,000 or $1 million, right? So if that's you, we will help you figure out how to 2X, 3X, or 4X your revenue per month. And we have a very special way of doing that. And we will show you how to shave 10 or more hours off your work week. Okay. And this course, like in those 2 days, we're seeing such phenomenal results, not only in terms of growing a model month template that will take your business to the next level, but also redesigning what you're doing so that you can truly be the CEO of your company and not be doing all the work you don't want to do. So we had one client who shaved off 17 hours per week, and that has given her back all this time to focus on the needle movers in her business that are going to get her there. So you have to come and experience it. If you're interested, we'd love to get you the information. So you can go, we made it really easy. Go to salescoachnow.com/apply, APPLY. It's also in the show notes. All right. And just send us a little information and we'll get you the next steps. And we'd love to have you come and play. January sold out. February is going to sell out. And, we're thinking about how many we're going to add to the calendar. So come and play with us. Let us know how we can support you. And this is especially true. And we're going to talk about this today. This is especially true if you're feeling like you wish you were surrounded by CEOs who are at your level or at the next level. And if you're craving that kind of CEO collaboration with like-minded CEOs who are getting to that next level, who are 2Xing, 3Xing, some 10Xing their revenue, we want you to be part of that community. And that's one of the things we're hearing from our CEOs right now. They're just so grateful to be in this kind of community where they feel supported, not only by the mindset and the mindset that we all share, but the values and just the way that we're moving forward together. So let me know if you want information on that. We'd love to have you come and play with us. Today, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about, again, how to move through your income ceiling with ease. And this, I've been wanting to do this show for a while because it's such a critical part of growing a 7-figure business and beyond. And yet, I see tons of information out there on how to scale a business, like, how to do the projections and how to build a sales team and how to hire a team and how to grow your team. There's a lot out there, right? And we teach a lot of that as well. We coach our clients on that. We help them with those pieces. We really get into all those aspects. But I don't see as much on the mindset piece. And it's almost like people don't believe it's as important, or, they don't think it's a real thing. And yet, it's a real thing if you for whatever reason, you've had an income goal set for years. Like you want to hit $83,000 a month. We'll just use $1 million example. You want to hit $83,000 a month. You've had it on your list forever and you haven't done it, right? So that's how like there's something stopping you. And I'm going to share with you 3 strategies that can help you figure out, why you're getting stopped and what you can do to move through it. So provided you're not listening to this while you're driving or on a treadmill, I would invite you to take some notes, okay? Because these are things that I want to invite you to take action on as quickly as you can. Like if this is a thing for you, let's do this. We got to find out where and why you're stopping. And some of the things I'm going to share, you may have heard me talk about before, but maybe not quite in this way. So I want to challenge you to really think about this with fresh ears, like you haven't heard it before, and see what pops up for you. And if this is helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at contact@salescoachnow.com or Ursula. Sometimes people don't want to spell Ursula, URSULA @salescoachnow.com. I want to hear what this show brings up for you, how it helps you, what was useful about it, okay? Because that just helps me know what kind of content is resonating and what else to bring. And certainly, if this is meaningful for you, please leave us a review on iTunes because it helps others know whether or not this is useful for them as well. All right? All right. So here are the 3 strategies. Number 1 is to make a decision on your new monthly revenue goal. Like decide what it's going to be. Okay. And I'm hearing some of you say, oh, well, of course, like Captain Obvious, that like, of course I have to make a decision. However, as someone who's coached thousands of entrepreneurs, what I know is that often as CEOs, we have an idea of the number we'd like to reach, but we haven't committed to it. We haven't made a true decision. And until you are all in on this goal, you're not going to break through this income ceiling. So I'm going to keep using 83,000 a month just because we have a lot of clients who are showing up right now who want to have, want to break through their million. And this one piece it comes up continually. It also comes up with clients that we worked with for a long time, right? Because they hit another income ceiling, and then there's another income ceiling because they keep growing their business, right? So this isn't something that is a one and done and like, oh, I'm good. Different level, different devil, right? Some people say that. Every time there can be other things that stop you because of past programming. So first and foremost is to make a decision that no matter what, I'm going to reach 83,000 a month or more, no matter what. And I'm going to make it happen in Q1, if that's possible for you, or whatever your number is, and your goal around that. Because until you've made a decision, until you're all in on the goal, you haven't created what I like to think of as the container for that to happen. One of the things we do in the 2X Intensive is we help our clients come up with a clear model month template. And I've talked about that on the show before. And the model month template is the plan worked out in the exact numbers that would get you to your new goal. And when we put the model month template together, and you can do this, right? You can work it out. You can certainly come and play with us at the 2X Intensive and we'll help you do it. On your own, it's thinking about, what to hit 83,000 a month, what has to be true regarding what I'm selling, my pricing, my packages, how we're delivering that, how I feel about it. Do I need to increase my prices? Do I need to change my packages? Like all of those things, right, have to be figured out to put a true model month template together. And that's why we do it. That's why we create the model month template with our clients, because it's the roadmap to get there. And it forces you to think about what you need to change to make it happen. Most of our clients have to raise their prices. Most of our clients have to let go of some of the products or services they've been offering. They're just no longer a fit. Most of our clients have to let go of limiting beliefs that no longer serve them. Most of our clients have to make changes to their team, right, for this to happen. So there's a lot of things that go into making the decision. So number one, make the decision and create your model month and figure out exactly what you want it to look like. Okay. And that's to the T. Like, if you're in a service-based business and you have 3 different services you offer, every month you're going to sell X amount of service number 1, X amount of service number 2, X amount of service number 3. Same if you have a product-based business, like you've got to break it down to that level. And what I encourage you to do is to be very thoughtful about that process, to be able to say to yourself, yeah, this is exactly how I want to deliver it. This is the kind of business I want to have. Because the other thing that it will illuminate for you is what you need to change in your business. A lot of our clients decide there's certain products or services they're never going to have again. They retire them, they change them, they make some of them virtual, right? There's things that you'll know you want to change in the business, because one of the things that could stop you is that you don't like your business anymore because you're doing all the work, or because there's products and services you don't like. Or part of this, right, as well, might show you that you're working with the wrong clients. When I say the wrong clients, it means like your top 20% is over here, and you're working with clients here who aren't even close to that ideal. And you keep saying yes to this group of clients or prospects because you have a belief that only working with your top 20% is not possible. So it will also illuminate things around who your ideal clients are and who you do or do not want to work with. So a lot goes into that one activity of creating the model month template and making a decision to get all in. So it's a very clarifying exercise to do to help you bust through that next income ceiling. The next strategy is to ask yourself, all right, once you've got this all set up, here's my model month template. I made a decision, I'm all in. To then look at it and ask yourself, what do I believe could stop me from really getting to that next level? What could stop me? Or where will I stop? Or where have I stopped in the past? Where do I stop in the month, right? Like, what are the things that will get you off track and will stop you from moving forward? Some people are very sensitive to world events, and I get that, and we're in a lot of that right now. And so what your subconscious mind could say, I just need some time to go deal with this. And then you let these other pieces go. And unfortunately, you don't get there, right? It could be that one of your go-tos is to be very busy. Maybe you have a belief that if you don't work hard, you can't make a lot of money. So you stay in the busyness, but you're not really doing the needle movers that move your company forward. We have a client that we work with who really wanted to get to that next level, but was doing a lot of the things that were taking her away from the needle movers to grow the business, right? And so we helped her flip that. We helped her focus on and to ask herself every day, what are the top 3 things that I need to do today to move my business forward, right? And we say this to all of our clients. What are the top 3 needle movers today? What she found is that when she started to do the top 3 needle movers first every day, right, everything else seemed to get done more easily. It seemed like she had time for everything. Now she has a team that is supporting her. She has an amazing executive assistant who's handling a ton of her work for her. I mean, down to the details of email and following up with clients and like she's delegated almost everything. And so that's the piece to think about is it the busyness that's keeping me from getting to that next level? Because that can be so easy to fall into. I'm too busy to grow. Oh my gosh, if we got more work, I don't know what I would do. Well, that just tells you that you're missing team, right? You need team to support you. What else? Another thing that could stop you is the need for safety, right? Maslow's hierarchy of needs talked about the different levels of safety and how important it is to feel like we belong. There's others who have talked about that as well. Essentially, if we feel like we will be rejected from our community, we will stop ourselves. And our community could also be our family. It could be friends. And the talk track could be something like, oh my gosh, if I grow $1 million business, what are people really going to think of me? Are they still going to want to be friends with me? Will we have anything in common? How will that affect our relationship? For some spouses, they worry about outgrowing the other, so they will stay small and stuck, when what you might find out is your spouse would be very excited if you grew $1 million business or when you grow $1 million business. It could be old family beliefs, right? About, in our family, we are blue collar. We've always been blue collar, and that's where we need to stay. And to step out of that causes a lot of friction. And by the way, these are things that, I've experienced and in, my circles, that there were many times it wasn't okay to talk about money, especially when I moved to California. It was very interesting because my Californians speak about entrepreneurship openly, easily, honestly. They talk about money. They talk about real estate. Like, it was nothing to go over to a neighbor's house and have a conversation about what we're investing in, or, real estate investments or financial investments. And, that was just common. And I will say it's a little bit different in Minnesota. And if you're from Minnesota, I'm from Minnesota, so I get this. I am a Minnesotan who moved to California and came back. And what I realized really quickly was it was different in terms of how we talk about money, or if it's okay. So of course I just model that because I'm like, I'm okay with it. And I want to be a leader in this space of giving people permission to talk about it. So in our circles of Minnesota clients, and, we talk about these things all the time. In fact, many of our clients say, this is the only place where I feel safe enough to talk about it, in this Facebook group or on this group call together. This is the only place I can celebrate landing a $100,000 client, having an $83,000 month. There's no other place I can share this. And I'm sure that's not just Minnesota. But what I want to say is that, you might stop because of fear of being kicked out of something or losing something. And so you want to be aware of that, and you want to preempt it. And I'm going to talk about that in the next section, like what you can really do to ensure that these things don't stop you. So number one, again, make a decision, get all in, figure out what your model month looks like. Second, Ask yourself, what do I believe could stop me? Or where will I stop in this process? What's going to stop me during my trip to get, to my $83,000 a month goal or whatever it is? And then finally, what do you need to have in place? Or ask yourself, what do I need to have in place so I will reach my goal no matter what? And this part is so powerful. So when you start to acknowledge where you will stop, then you can start to look at, okay, so if I know I go into overwhelm all the time because I try to do everything, if I had one team member, if I added one team member who could handle all my admin and handle all the things that I need to get off my plate so I can focus on the needle movers and growing the business, that wouldn't stop me. Overwhelm wouldn't stop me anymore, right? Also, if the place you're going to stop is around being kicked out of your community or who will I lose? By the way, most people don't know how much money you're making unless you tell them, and that's up to you, right? And so notice that this is just a story that we make up and then we believe into it, right? And for some people, it could be very true. Like there could be rejection in family or people who don't want to talk to you anymore if they know, how well you're doing or whatever. And so it's up to you in terms of who you need to share this with or not. I do want you to have a place to share this with though, right? And so number one, having a team, having the right team around you is really critical. And that can be part of your support system. Second, find a CEO group. There are tons out there. We have one now, which I'm really excited about, the CEO Tables 2X Breakthrough Experience. Love what's happening in that community. We're not the only one on the planet. I'm in several myself. You need to find community. You need to find other CEOs who are experiencing your struggles, who are experiencing your triumphs, who are stopping where you stop, or who have gone before you and stopped and kept going, right? When you get into community and you have that group intention and that group mindset, you start to move to the next level faster. You start to move through what would have stopped you before. You just keep moving. And I believe a lot of that has to do with the belief shifts that are passed on. And I've seen this in my own experience when I'm with other CEOs who have, created whatever I want to create. I get to see the model of that. I get to see and understand the mindset, the beliefs that they have. And what I notice is I do a belief exchange or trade or just take it on. I immediately take on their belief. And a lot of this happens subconsciously when you're in groups like this. You don't even realize it's happening. But what I notice is, I've just taken on the belief that X is now possible for me too. I talked a lot about this in my book, The Belief Zone, right? Myself and Rebecca Hall, our other master coach at Sales Coach Now, we often take on the belief that our client can get to the next level before they can before they take on the belief themselves, right? Like before their subconscious has fully taken it on. And it's so powerful to see what happens when we hold that belief for our client when they can't yet. And then they start to just lean into that, right? We encourage them, just lean into it. Just lean into this belief. We're going to hold this belief until you get there. So just lean into it. You don't have to do any hard work around it. Just start to believe that it's possible for you too. And when we hold that container of space, we start to see them leaning into this possibility that it's true for them. And then they don't stop. And I can tell you, like having a coach or mentor who's holding that belief with you on a regular basis, like someone you're talking to on the regular, who's ahead of you in business, who's holding that belief for you, your belief will start to catch up. It just will naturally start to happen. Now, none of this means that, you're sitting on your couch meditating, which you might be, right, for part of the time, but you're still in action. You're still in action, but you're doing the things, as we call the needle movers that move your business forward. You're doing those things every day, the 3 things that move your business forward, right? You're doing those things and you're following your intuition. And you also feel more confident, you're more at peace because you've taken on this belief. So there's so many things that happen in that process. So definitely find a CEO group to help you hold this space. Again, ideally CEOs who are ahead of you. So number 1, have the team around you that you need that's going to help hold this in place. Have a CEO group that you can lean into. Have coaches and mentors who can support you. And finally, bring this all together on your calendar. I was saying for myself, I always say, if it's not on the calendar, it's not going to happen, right? So when you get clear on all the things you're delegating to your team, right, get them off, and you know what your specific duties are as CEO, your needle movers that move the company forward, put those things on your calendar, right? They're on your action list, they're to your to-do list, then put them on your calendar. When are you going to get them done? When do you need to block time for that? And maybe you have blocks of time that are on there regularly. Maybe one of your zones of genius is writing, and you're writing copy for your business, and you just know you need to do it. Well, put it on the calendar and protect that time like that time is scheduled with one of your top prospects of all time. Like, you do not cancel that time because that's a needle mover, right? Maybe you block time off because there are certain clients, ideal clients that you still want to meet with. So be intentional. If you need to meet with 3 a week, put those times on the calendar, right? If there's other, like the podcast, right? Maybe there's marketing things that only you can do in your business, put them on the calendar. I will tell you that once we have our model month, our projections done, then we build the calendar to support that goal, right? So we know the exact number of events we need. We know exactly how much marketing we need to do, or a good guess, right? We're always tweaking marketing. We know how many appointments we need on the books, right? With myself or my team talking to prospective clients. And it all gets tied in on the calendar, which gives me the confidence and peace to not have to worry about it because the structures are in place. And that will also help you move through that next income ceiling. If you don't move through it, you want to go through this process again and just kind of notice, like, what's not working? Am I not all in? Am I not all in on this goal? What do I think is stopping me? Where am I getting off track? And then also, what else do I need in place, or what kind of support do I need to get there? And sometimes you start to see tweaks, right? Like, maybe I need a different team to help me with X. And it's important to make those changes quickly. I've talked about Dan Sullivan's book, Who Not How, and it's a super powerful book. And I love his work. I love, what he has contributed to the coaching world. He's just an amazing, amazing author and coach. And Who Not How is powerful because this is something to ask yourself: who do I need in my circle to hold the space for me to get to the next level, right? Who's on my team, or who needs to be on my team to get there? So I invite you to come back and listen to the show again and take a lot of notes, do some work on this. And I want to hear from you. So email me at contact@salescoachnow.com or Ursula@salescoachnow.com. Let me know what you thought of the show, how it helped you, any breakthroughs or aha moments you had. And also, please leave us a review on iTunes. We'd love to hear how this show is making a difference in your life. We'd love hearing from you. All right, everybody, that's it for now. I just want to encourage you to move through that next income ceiling with ease and make this your most epic year yet. Bye for now.